The house stood like a forgotten monument at the edge of the woods, half eaten by ivy and shadow. Elias Moore sat in his car with the engine idling, staring at it through the windshield as rain carved slow rivers down the glass. He wasn't sure what he expected, maybe something smaller, something less haunted. The letter had arrived 2 weeks ago, handwritten on yellowed parchment with a name he hadn't heard in years, Jonathan Albrecht. Great uncle, died in his sleep, no children, no spouse, just one line in the will.
Equals to Elias Moore, I leave the house.
There was no mention of where or why.
But here it was, Briar Hollow, population barely 1,000, one gas station, no cell signal, and this house, massive, Victorian and grinning with rot.
Elias killed the engine and sat in the silence. His fingers curled tighter around the steering wheel. A headache pulsed behind his eyes, the kind that always came when he hadn't slept right, which lately was always. 3 months. That's how long it had been since the accident, since the silence, since Marin. He stepped out into the rain. The gravel crunched beneath his boots as he approached the front gate. Vines wrapped the iron bars like veins. When he pushed it open, the hinges gave a shriek that made his skin crawl. The front yard was overgrown, a jungle of thorn bush and dying flowers. At the porch, the wooden boards sagged under his weight. The door was unlocked. Elias paused on the threshold. His reflection stared back at him in the glass. A gaunt man in a soaked jacket, 32 but looking older. He ran a hand through his dark hair, then opened the door. The house inhaled him. It was cold, not just from the rain, the kind of cold that lived in old places, deep in the walls. The air smelled of dust, damp wood, and something faintly metallic, like blood in water. The foyer was wide, the ceilings high. A grand staircase twisted up into shadow. The wallpaper was green once, now yellowed and peeling in long curls. Furniture lay under white sheets like sleeping corpses. He set his suitcase down and flicked on the flashlight app on his phone.
The beam cut across the floorboards, catching motes of dust suspended in stillness. Every sound seemed too loud. His footsteps, his breathing, the soft creak of the walls settling.
Somewhere upstairs, a door creaked open. Elias froze. He waited. Nothing. Just the house. Settling. He walked slowly toward the hallway on the left, where a row of old portraits lined the walls. Faded eyes followed him. Strangers in sepia, dressed in black, their faces long forgotten. In the dining room, he found a table set for two,